talk. This that block talk. This that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. This that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. This that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. This that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. I ain't made out of cop car, cause this that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. I ain't made out of cop car. This that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. I ain't made out of cop car, cause this that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. I ain't made out of cop car, cause this that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. I ain't made out of cop car, cause this that block talk. Block face down out line, nigga, chop talk. I ain't made out of cop car.
Really fuck do they want as a man to get slapped, to get spit? I think spit on a different level from being
No, I
slapped.
know, but I'm saying
To me, in my mind, the spit is just there. Is
Oh, I'm live. I'm doing because I'm starting. Hey, everybody. I'm over here. Hey, man, are you going to talk? What's going on? Hey, everybody. I'm Gallo. I am your second co-host on the amazing Cement Block Productions Block Talk, and today we're talking about bitch made cats. We're going to follow up with an episode we had last week. If you paid attention, you were here. Just talking about dudes that just lay in wait, waiting to snake your chick, you know. And without any further ado, I'd like to present the original creator of the show, Boogie.
Oh, I thought you were going to introduce Max, the original creator of the show, but I'll take it.
Who's Max?
Max? Oh, my dog. I'm just talking shit.
Oh. I was like, I know your dog. I just thought there was another Max.
No, tis I. Tis my dog. Tis my dog. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Guy, excellent. You might need to host more, man. You definitely showed me up. I do a rambling opening. Yours sounded professional and good. I liked it. So before we get into bitch made cats, somebody slid in my DMs on the Instagram, which is Cement Block _productions. If you want to reach out with any questions for the show, or if you want to hit Gallo, make sure to go to sucias.xyz so that way you can hit him up. It has his link for all his social media. You know, you can email him there, whatever you want. Question for this show or for his other show that he does, which is Sucias Are My Favorite, which is way more professional than this one. But, you know,
a lot shorter, too.
Lot shorter, a lot more digestible. About last episode was what, 5 minutes, huh? The one I just listened to?
Oh, fuck, I don't even know. They're under 10. I know they're all like under 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think the last one was
an
like
interview.
5 minutes. It was good, though. It was good. I liked it. Salute. Anyway, so the question that I got was, this guy went out, I'm assuming to a bar or a club. He didn't really tell me like the place, but he said bar setting. Went out to a bar setting, met this chick. They danced, they drank, they talked a little bit. Anyway, he got her number, and she said that she would text him. He got eager, kind of jumped the gun, started texting her first, and then she stopped replying. So he was wondering, what can he do, or what did he do wrong, and how can he prevent this from happening again, or how can he get her to text him back? Guy, I'm going to let you go ahead and start it off, man.
So in the text message, I remember you'd sent me a screenshot of what was going on there, and there's no names involved, and I don't think we're gonna have a screenshot up on the episode or on the video when you.
No, I'm gonna keep it anonymous. I don't want to do the guy like that.
So just what did he say? Crap, I forgot. It was basically, I hope you made it home. I hope you made it home okay. It was nice dancing with you. Blah blah blah. And she goes, I just made it home. Thank you. I appreciate it. She thanked him for hoping she got home okay, which can be nice, but it just kind of like left it open. And then he came in. Of course, I'm glad you made it home safe. Maybe before you get back to San Antonio, I could take you for grab a bite to eat or coffee. I'm free in the morning. So he made himself overly available to the chick, in that message. He, in his shoes, instead of giving all these options. Said, hey, I'm gonna go for coffee on this side of town. Meet me there if you're available. And then let her adjust and say something like, oh no, I'm on this other part of town, or this is where I'm at, or even say that she's heading back to San Antonio, or whatever. I'm guessing he already knew from the conversation that she's heading back to San Antonio,
Mm-hmm.
but she said that she was leaving already in that text. And so that's when after that he had messaged Boogie about, hey, what should I do? How should I handle this? After he already said, hey, good morning, have a good day. And that's kind of like, that's one of those ones you're already talking to them that I would do is, hey, how you doing? Are you having a good day? How'd you sleep? Whatever. That's something once you already have a conversation, once you've already gotten it in, not while you're trying to get to know them. Because with most females that I deal with or talk to, or try to help them out, a lot of guys, when they get that, they get nice guy vibes from them. And for them, it's more of, they see that as the guy is trying to say nice things, do nice things to kind of earn points or brownie points that later on he's going to try to, claim, okay, now I deserve sex because I said good morning all these times and I wished you good night and I did all these little things. So now you owe me sex. And that's something that a lot of women have to deal with. And to avoid it, they just like ghost a guy. Um, and me and Boogie were going back and forth, like how we would have handled it at certain points of the stage. Like at that point, at the point that he sent us the screenshots, it's kind of already too late to try to salvage it, other than to just say, hey, I'm gonna be in Austin, meet me there. And whether she goes or not, to meet him, he's still going there to have a good time. So it shouldn't be to go out of his way to go see her. He should see about getting her to join him on something he's already going to do, to make him seem like he's more fun, to make him seem like he's a little mysterious. But that's only a chance I can see it probably being salvaged. And when we were talking back and forth, Boogie was like, man, we're in lockstep. Like he was saying slightly different versions of what I would do or what he would do, but it's basically the same idea.
Yeah, we were following like the same kind of like track, like we were on the same rail. You know what I mean?
Mm.
With just slight little variances. But yeah, see, I wish he wouldn't have texted her. Like after he originally asked me, like before he sent me the screenshots, right? I wish he would have stopped there instead of like he tried to dig down and be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna send her another message and then another message," and I'm like, "You're just like digging it into a worse hole where you just need to like stop while you're ahead." Though, like after, because she had hearted his last message after he had said that or whatever, he should have just like, hold on, I got it right here. Let me pull the bitch up. Oof. I apologize for this. Should have been more paired. Because I was just reading it too, like an asshole. Yeah, after she so he said drive safe, have a good day. And she gave that a heart. And then she texted later on in the day, "Thank you, I'm leaving already." Shouldn't have texted back after that. Honestly, you should have just left that there, because then she would have got home, let her give her some time to think about you, let her text you the next day or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like to be on your mind type shit. And instead, and it looks like it was almost immediately, because like when it takes time in between them, it says like the time gap. So I'm assuming within 10 minutes, he texted her right back and was like, "Enjoy the drive. You going by yourself. I'm just grabbing some lunch real quick and running errands." It's like you were way too formal already. Like you made it seem like y'all already like cool type shit. And she's like, I don't really know you like that. I don't really care about your schedule type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was being nice, and now you're kind of just like you said. Like now it feels like there are ulterior motives behind you trying to be this nice guy or whatever. So I wish that he would have stopped while he was ahead, honestly, because it would have been easier to salvage. Now, like I said, he's not all the way just fucked. Like he still has a slight chance, but at this point, my advice to you, because I was a little bit more just kind of like cut off, because I was like, you know what, you fucked up. You learned from this experience to be like, okay, this is what I don't do next time I'm texting a girl. So if I was you, I would just say, just fucking cut it. You know what I'm saying, and then move on to the next one. But guy who believes there is a way to salvage it, and I'm gonna let you explain it because I think you explained it better when we were texting. So you want to say how there's a possibility of salvaging this maybe quite possibly thing he's trying to have going on?
Yeah. So he had told you, which you'd shared with me, that she's 18. So her
Yeah.
youth is in his favor, and I'm guessing he's in his 20s or 19 or whatever, a little bit older than her.
So
So I don't
he's
have that information.
30 and she's 18.
Wait. Time out. He's 30.
He's 30 and she's 18.
Oh man.
I think he's just trying to,
Yeah,
man. I
I
didn't want
mean,
to say it.
see, I thought he was in like his 20s. Okay.
No, he's
So,
30.
oh, that is man, that
See, but that's
changes.
why I was like, cut it off. Because if it's just like
Oh,
little, I'm like, move on, dog.
he should know by now. But then again, most guys don't. Most guys are worried. The whole Me Too thing screwed up a lot of guys
Yeah.
and scared them from trying to do anything. Oh, fuck. Damn, man, that just throws me all off. Like, I was thinking, like, this is a 20-year-old guy, 22,
Yeah.
23. But being in his 30s works in his favor because hopefully he's got a better career, better job, so he has more money, more expendable
Disposable income, yeah.
cash. So he can, he has disposable income. There we go. So I'm guessing he should have between 200 and 500 extra a month that he can just blow on whatever he wants. Just fuck off,
Mhm.
right? At least 100. So he could go and say, "Hey, I'm going to this concert, blah 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 blah, whatever." Let her feel him up, not feel him up. Reach out to him. Oh, that.
I'm sure that's what he's
I mean, yeah, that's the goal.
Feel him up, yeah.
But have her reach out to him. Oh, that's cool. Tickets are gone. Or, oh, I already have a spare ticket. My homegirl or my friend or whatever is not going to make it. So he can entice her with what he could offer her, which is not a method I would like to try or use because that can still be in the creepy zone. So it can't be overt like, oh, hey, come play with me, little girl. I have this candy for you. Oh man. So it's just, yeah, you just dropped the 30-year-old thing and it just kind of threw my whole thing
Yeah.
off.
So apparently he just also got out of a relationship. Well, because like I was actually texting with him because I was like, this is kind of important to know. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I do need a little bit of context. Because he was the one that brought up like, oh, she's 18. So I was like, okay, that makes me think that there's like an age gap. That's why I was like, well, how old are you? That I kind of needed to know that. And he was like, oh, I'm 30. And I'm like, okay, so this makes it already seem like you just kind of want to get it in. And then he's like,
yeah,
I just got out of a relationship like about like 6 months ago, and I just kind of started going back out there. And I'm like, it definitely seems like you're just trying to get it in, bro. And if that is all you're trying to do, because I asked him, I said, listen, if that's all you're trying to do, definitely just ejectocito. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why do you want to put that much effort into like just like a one night stand, especially for somebody that he would have to travel to? You know what I mean? Or like it would have to depend on whenever she's in town that he'd be waiting on her. So I'm like, I mean, you could just find you some local punani, honestly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's plenty of 18-year-olds.
Yeah, like I would have, I'd have that, set up like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. And be honest, hey, I just got a relationship. I know this might seem like, I'm trying too hard or whatever. I'm just new to the game, or it's been whatever time been that he's been in a relationship, but he just wants to have fun. If she wants to have fun, cool. Like just leave it open like that. But that should have been a conversation that he had in person with her, wherever he met her, at the dancing or whatever was going on. I'm guessing it was a club or a bar with a dance floor.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be loud music and not a good place to have a conversation unless you pull him outside of the patio wherever, you go out to smoke or have a little more quiet to be able to have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
And that's something that should have been brought up then. Like, hey, look, this is what's going on. Not make it seem like he's trying to get into a relationship. Just let her know, hey, I'm not ready to settle down. I want to have fun. Maybe get to know you. Maybe something happens. But even then, 18 is too much of an age gap between 30 and 18. Like, I'd hook up with an 18-year-old, and I'm in my 40s, but I would not date an 18-year-old. Like, I wouldn't even date anyone under 28.
Yeah, I wouldn't date an 18-year-old, but only because, like, again, you got to think about, and then again, also, like, you got to think about it realistically, right? Which is something that I kind of want to stress to him, which I hope you're listening, young man. She lives in a different city, so long distance relationships are already hard. You know what I mean? For somebody that was like, y'all were together for a while, then one of y'all had to leave for maybe a job or another reason like that, that's already tough. You're starting literally from fucking scratch. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like y'all had one, let's say, great night together. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he was trying to be a gentleman. He said he didn't like try to kiss her or nothing like that, which that also you fucked up on that one. You should have made a move. Because now she's just kind of like, well, why the fuck didn't he? But anyway, yeah, now you're just starting off with this. quote unquote magical night that y'all had together, and then now y'all gonna be split apart for God only knows how fucking long until y'all schedules line up where you could go to her or she could come to you. So there's just like a lot of factors that are not working in your favor to just make a relationship work. Where it's like, oh, if I ever go to San Antonio or if she ever goes to, I don't want to say the city he's in, but it's not that far from, you know what I'm saying, where she's at. So it's definitely drivable. But you got to think about it like, oh, if she ever does come back to this spot, like, yeah, we could hook up. And I'm like, but how often is that going to happen, bro? Maybe like once every other month or something like that. Like, again, she's 18, probably don't got a lot of money, probably stay with her parents. You know what I'm saying? So even when you go there, you got to spend money on a hotel. You know what I mean? And plus, you got to take her out because I'm sure she's not just going to want to go straight to the hotel and bang your brains out. And then if she comes over to your spot, she's got to save up for the gas. She's got to save up for the trip. You know what I'm saying? And she's basically going to talk herself out of it because all the money. Then she's got to explain to her parents why she's going back to wherever the fuck she's going to. You know what I'm saying? It's like all this shit's really working against you, my boy. Not saying it's impossible, but it's tough.
Yeah, it's definitely, especially for long distance relationships. Like with my wife, our relationship started off as long distance just because I was in Houston, she was in San Antonio. But because we're both in roller derby, we both would travel every weekend anyway, so we'd end up seeing each other more often than not.
Mhm.
And if we didn't have a game scheduled, then we would make it kind of like mini vacations. I'd meet her in Luling, she'd meet me in Shiner. We'd go to Corpus. We would like go someplace and meet in the middle as a destination thing, kind of like destination wedding, but destination dating. You know?
Yeah.
But we were already in our 30s. We were adults. We had our own, careers. We had our own vehicles. We can travel and do that kind of thing. And, it was essentially just a friends with benefits thing with, more friendship along with the benefits, not just fuck buddies as, the older 90s version of friends with benefits, which was mostly just sex. So this was more of friends and the benefits, not just the benefits,
Yeah.
And so I would just say, hey, just let it go. Keep her number on tabs and let her know, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be in San Antonio, whatever weekend. Don't make plans to go see her next weekend or, in a few days, in a month or two, however common it is for you to go to San Antonio. Let her know, hey, I'm gonna be in town this weekend. Let's go grab some breakfast. Let's go to Stripper Tacos on the St. Mary's Strip. If anybody's in Texas and you happen to go to San Antonio, go to St. Mary's Strip. Ask anybody there where Stripper Tacos is at. Best tacos in town.
Stripper tacos?
Stripper Tacos.
Damn, that shit sound busting. But yeah, man, don't go out your fucking way to like make up an excuse to go to San Antonio to just like don't use that as an excuse to reach out and text her again to be like, hey, I'm gonna be in San Antonio next weekend. We should link up. Don't do that fucking shit, yo. Like I said, give it a minute. Cause now you gotta get out of that creepy zone to where you hit her up. And when she gets hit up, she's like, oh, well, we did have a fun time dancing that night. Instead of it being like a back-to-back. And then she's like, God damn, like this motherfucker won't leave me alone. I'm finna have to block this dude type shit. So that's the advice that we have for you, young man. And again, I just want to let y'all know we do check the messages. We will answer it, whether on air or if you prefer not to have it on the podcast. Me and Gaio can just kind of, consult about it, and then we'll get back to you in a private matter if that's what you would prefer. I'm always the young man gave me permission to talk about this on air, which we thank you so much for the content, young man. Thank you. Now, moving on to subject number 2 of the day.
I was just laughing at the young man because you're not that much older than him.
He's older than I am.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just funny because for me, both of y'all are young men. But anyway.
Well, because I didn't know what to say. What am I supposed to say? Like, old man? Like, appreciate it, old dude. Like, thanks, guy.
Good sir. Good sir, buddy, whatever.
I think so.
But we do appreciate it because, on my show as well, I get reached out from time and I appreciate it because here we can talk about it. Usually on my shows, they don't want to talk about their situation, but they'll want me to ask or answer a general question. So yeah, it's greatly appreciated that we can share your content without actually sharing your content.
Yeah, like I said, I'll do everything to keep it anonymous. I'm not going to post no photos you send me or nothing like that, man. Like, we're going to do it professionally to where you're not going to feel embarrassed. But take number 2, expounding from last week's episode, we were talking about bitch-made cats. Now, what is a bitch-made cat? A bitch-made cat is a fake friend, essentially. Somebody that basically like he knows you and your girl, but he keeps like talking to your girl just a little bit too much, trying to be extra funny whenever he's around her. Really, basically a snake. That's what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Me and Guy are Hispanic. We mow lawns so we don't see no snakes because that shit is terrible for you, man. You can't keep that type of energy around you because bitch made cats and snakes they just like rats. They're an infestation and they spread. You allow one, and then next thing you know what I'm saying, you surrounded by them. So, Guy, how do you approach bitch made cats and avoid bitch made cats in your life?
Oh man, you know what? I gotta say, when I was in my early 20s, no, late teens, because by my early 20s I was out of Houston, but in my late teens, I was a snake, and my buddies, some of my buddies were snakes too, and it wasn't overt, it wasn't every chance we had, it wasn't all the time. There's this My friends all knew that I was a slut. I was fucking around on my fiance left and right because she cheated on me. The whole thing. If you want to know more, just listen to Who Am I? My Who Am I episodes on Suicides are my favorite. Short version is I was cheating on her left and right. My friends knew about it, and one of my friends uh, was trying to cover for me when my girlfriend or fiance was trying to find out where I was at, and then he started flirting with her. And she told me years later that he tried something, but she didn't let anything happen. Which I don't know, I don't care. Like I was already not committed to her, and I kind of did the same thing to another buddy of mine because we were just all being snakes to each other, just kind of like fucking with each other. But I threw him under the bus. I didn't try to do anything with his girl. I just kind of threw him under the bus unintentionally, just because I took too long to answer. Hey, well, where's Andres at? Like, fuck if I know. And he had told me like an hour earlier, hey, I'm gonna go fuck this other chick, but tell her I'm over here and she won't ask about it because I think it was like with my family or whatever. And I threw him under the bus without even trying, like, fuck if I know. And then I go, oh no, no, wait, wait, wait. He's with his mom. He's with his mom. And the way I covered for him, like fucked it up. So not everyone is immune to being a snake. But since then, like in my 20s onwards, I, usually vetted my friends just the same way I vet females as far as girls I'm going to date. As far as friends go, I'll see about how I can bring them around because I don't want to have to separate my friends from my girlfriend or whatever. Like you should be able to trust your male friends with whoever you are with. And there's always going to be that undertone of guys always being jealous of what they can't have or having envy or being covetous or whatever you have because that's human nature. Whether or not they act on it, that's going to be the thing that you have to judge your friendships on. And so, you just have to be able to, I guess, weed your friends out and be able to learn how to trust them and try them on low level shit. Whenever you get something new, you get a new iPad, you get the new iPhone, you get the new whatever, and you don't show it off to your friends. Oh, hey, look what I got, blah blah blah, because you might have an asshole's going to slap it out of your hand and break it. Then you're gonna know, hey, that's a snake. Don't fucking trust them. But then you're also out a couple $100 or $1,000 on your phone or your iPad or whatever it is. So you got to learn how to be able to test those guys out over time, and then realize, okay, I can share a little bit more with them because we as males we can't share too much just because it's not in our nature. So when you do, you have to know that you can trust another male to share whatever is going on with your life and know that they're not going to try to take it from you.
Yeah, see, I totally agree with that, and I'm gonna be honest. So, like, how my snake journey begun was because I was a bit of a snake when I was younger, also. But I think that's just like naturally because I think when like you're younger as a guy, I think it's also because like you're forced into so many social situations where you make a lot of male friends to where I don't think you really appreciate it. As to where like you're older, you start kind of realizing like damn, not everybody's a true friend, so I should appreciate the friends that I have and treat them as true good friends. You know what I mean? Which shout out to you, of course, as always, great friend. Pineapple Dan, Slim Burton, big shout out to the squad. But my, so how I started was I had a friend, right, and he was a boxer, and he actually got me into boxing. So I started boxing with him or whatever. We hung out. We got like real fucking cool. Anyway, I was uh, having relations with this young woman, and you know what I'm saying. We were hooking up or whatever, and he knew about it, right? So one day, we're after school, just kind of fucking around, me and my partner, and then old girl shows up, and then like she gives me a kiss, and then he's like, "Hey man, can I holler at you?" And I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, no, I gotta holler at her. So I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. So I chill, right? They like walk off to like the courtyard in the school, right? Walk the fuck off. He leaves, only she comes back. And I'm like, what's up? And she's like, nah, he was asking if I got a homegirl for him or whatever. So I told him I'd help him out. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So uh I told her, I said, hey, like, we still going to your place after this? And she's like, uh, nah, it turns out my mom's coming home early. So we can't. I'm like, all right, whatever. I leave. Anyway, like 2, 3 weeks later, right? Her folks like leave out of town. They go to Mexico. They leave her home by herself because she still got to go to school. So I'm like, shit, we finna be booed up for these next like 4 days that your parents out of town. Like I'm finna be all up in my drawers in your kitchen. So we go over to her spot. I stay with her for like 4 days. Like I'm living with this girl for 4 days. Like after like the third day, right? I just finished busting her game up or whatever. We're laying there, and then she like just starts crying, and I'm like, "What's up, yo? Like you good?" And she's like, "I gotta be honest with you about something." I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, "I have feelings for you. Like I'm fucking with you tough." Whoop whoop whoop. And I said, "Nah, yeah, like I'm fucking with you too. You know what I mean? Like like you my boo or whatever the fuck. I'm fucking with you." And she's like, "That's what makes this so hard." And I'm like, "What's up?" And she's like, I fucked Izzy. And I'm like, oh man, if y'all had something going on before, like that's cool. She's like, no, like that day that I told you my mom was coming home early, like I'm like, oh yeah. Like, damn. All right. I said, well, that's cool, man. And I played it off because I'm like, I still got another free night of rent over here. I'm not gonna fuck this up in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fuck up my shit. So I'm like, shit. I'm like, nah, man, don't even worry about that shit, baby. Don't even worry about that shit, man. Like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, did it mean anything? La da da da. She's like, it didn't mean nothing, man. I'm sorry. Like, he said you would be cool with it, and I was like, yeah, no, don't even worry about that shit. Stay boot up with her. Listen, the next day, right? And I'm only saying this because the statute of limitations is passed. The next day, I go to school. Do you know those little like mini baseball bats they give at baseball games? Okay, I grabbed one of these bats and I put it in my backpack. And I go up, and my partner's like, "Hey man, what's up? We chopping it up." And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he's like, "Where you been at, man? I ain't seen you in a couple of days." I said, "Ah, nah, man, I've been out the cut. I've been doing some things." Anyway, I told him, I said, "Hey man, do me a favor though. I want you to meet me after class over here in this courtyard." And he said, "All right, yeah, man, don't worry about it." So anyway, I cut class. I do not fucking go. I wait by his classroom. Like when the bell rings, I'm already there. I wait for the door to open. I'm watching all the kids file out one by one, just looking for the back of his fucking head. I see the back of his fucking head. I grabbed that baseball bat and I fucked his right knee up. And I think, I mean, he also wasn't that great, but I think I'm partially the reason he ain't got a boxing career today. But that's the dangers of fucking with snakes, man. I fucked that kid's knee up, son. Like I said, now listen, I'm like 15, 16 years old. So again, statute of limitations, I'm a child. That's gone now. But I fucked that dude's kneecap up. But again, though, once I found that out, and I'm really mad at myself, though, for getting out of character and even doing that to him, because that's back then when I used to think, like, oh my God, it's not her fault. She's a delicate flower. This is back when Boogie was a simp. I'm like, she's a delicate flower. It's not her fault. He poisoned her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on that bitch ass shit. So again, these are the dangers, man. And so that made me a snake. Because after that, I was like, oh, it's just raw out here. People don't give a fuck. And after that, I started fucking his ex that he was in love with, that he was trying to get back with. I fucked his ex like twice to make sure to tell him about it. Make sure she told him about it. Like I was an asshole after that. Like Boogie done went to another level type shit. I was on my savage mode. But that's why, man, that shit is like infectious. You know what I'm saying? That's why you shouldn't surround yourself with people of that character and of that caliber. That's why now, like I said, I only fuck with people that like I always put it like this because I tell my brother, because he was like, man, you don't really hang out with like a lot of people. I said, you know why? I said, because most people, if you leave $1,000 out, like I feel like I could just leave $1,000 just sitting on my nightstand. Most people will try to just take a little bit because they'll be like, he won't notice if any is missing. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna take some. And I was like, and I feel like with Gaio, Slim, and Dan, if they seen $10,000 sitting on my dresser, they might take a photo and say, "Damn, I'm fucking balling today." But I know that if I count it, every fucking dollar would be there. I mean, listen, it'd be more Slim and Dan. They would probably take the photo with it, but you know what I'm saying. It'll still be there at the end, where I'm like, I could trust y'all with whatever. You know what I'm saying? And me myself, I'm kind of weird. Like I don't really introduce my girl to my friends really like that. But it's not because of anything like that. I'm just like, listen, these are my friends. These ain't really your friends. Like, there's no point in you meeting them. Like now, if we happen to be out and then we meet up and then y'all meet like that organically, or if I invite them over and you're over, then yeah. But I'm not gonna go out my way to be like, hey, let's all meet up. I'm gonna bring my girl with me and we can all just kind of hang out together as a friend group. Like, now, these are my friends. You cool with your friends. That's also why I don't want to hang out with her friends either. I'm like, those are your friends. You hang out with your friends. You know what I'm saying? You have a good time because there are girls can also be snakes. This is not exclusively for men because I know some female fucking snakes.
Oh yeah, no, that is also a thing with women too. Um, let's see, how much can I share? I had this
And that
one
was
girl.
boogie story time.
I was so this woman let me know, and this is about 10 years ago, 10 or like 13 years ago. This woman let me know that her and her husband are in having problems, this, that, and the other. That she just needs somebody to talk to. Blah 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 blah. Okay, they're getting separated. They're gonna get divorced. All right, cool. I'm not gonna date her, but I'll hook up with her. So we were hooking up for a while, and probably like after a month into it, she's like, "Yo, if my husband talks to you, you tell him that the reason I've been talking to you is because I was trying to get you to hook up with my daughter and that I'm okay with it." Because she was like early 40s. I was in my early 30s. And her daughter like just turned 17. And she's like, I'm okay with it. Cool. You can talk to her or whatever. So she was trying to hook me up with her daughter. So that way her husband wouldn't find out that me and her were knocking boots. And so I was just like, oh shit. Like, I thought y'all were getting divorced. Okay, I'll play the role. I'll fucking talk to your daughter. Me and her daughter were talking for a while, but again, I just felt didn't want to have anything to do with the 17-year-old. So I waited till she was like 19 before we did anything. But anyways, it was just yeah, it was a crazy situation. But yeah, women can be snakes too. Women can be fucked up. They see something they want, they see something they like, they'll figure out a way to do it. And they're sneakier too. Like women are a hell of a lot sneakier. Guys we're just oblivious. We won't even notice what's going on until they actually tell us what's going on. Because
Yeah.
I know with you and Izzy, or you wouldn't
Yeah.
have known shit unless she told you. Like if she didn't tell you
Yeah.
anything, you never would have known. You never would have suspected. Nothing would have come out of it until she felt guilty enough to tell you. So yeah.
Yeah, because I never would have thought that about my friend type shit. But like, so giving a female example real quick. So I was on this back when I was using Tinder. So I was on Tinder, met this chick. She wanted to hook up same day. She's like, hey, I'm horny. I want to fuck. I'm like, cool. Say less. Where you at? She's like, let's meet up at a hotel though, because you know what I'm saying. Like, I think it's too formal for us to meet at each other's place. I'm like, all right, bet. We meet up at a hotel or whatever. She offered to pay. She's like, I'll pay. It don't even matter. And I was like, sure, why not? You pay for the first one. Next one's on me. So she pays for the hotel. We go there, bust her game up, and then she dips. Uh, Later on that day, she hits me up and she's like, hey, I want that again. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm home now, so if you want to come over to my spot, you can just come over to my spot. She's like, all right, bet, send me the addy. Send her the address. She's like, I'll be there in a half hour. So she comes over, busts her game up, maybe like another 3-4 times. That shit happens. She's about to leave. She takes a shower. She's about to leave, and she's like, hey, uh, I just want to let you know, like, this is fun for me and shit like that, but like, I don't want a relationship. I said, I'm sorry if I gave you that impression. Like that's not what this is whatsoever, yo. Like my beat, you know what I'm saying? And like that's on me for making you suspect that. So she's like, oh no, I'm just making sure we're on the same page. And I said, all right, cool. She's like, how about we link up again tomorrow? I said, yeah, for sure that I'll hit you up. And I should have known something was up because she didn't give me her number. She only gave me her Snapchat. So I was like, all right, it's whatever. She's like, once we get to know each other better, I'll give you my number. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, fuck. Dip. She dips out. Next day, I had something fall through with this other girl. So I'm like, well, shit, old girl did say she wanted to come back. So I hit her back up, and I'm like, hey, what you doing? Like, what you up to or whatever? All of a sudden, on her Snapchat, is like posted a new story. So I was like, well, that's weird that right after I text her, she posted a story. Let me see what that is. And it's her in the passenger seat. And then the camera pans over and there's a dude driving. And then he like blows a kiss to the camera. And then she like puts it back to herself. And then I was like, oh. So later on, I hit her up, right? I didn't say nothing after that. I hit her up like a couple hours later. And I was like, hey man, you should have just told me you had a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have played my role. I wouldn't even hit you up like that. I would have just let you hit me whenever you available type shit. And so then I guess she got caught after that because then she texted me and she was like, uh, and I knew this, she's like, who's this? And then I just never replied again. And then I was blocked right after that. So I was like, ooh, her man done went through her phone. I said, her man done went through her shit.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
man, that's what I'm saying. Women will be snakes as fuck. And then again, instead of just telling me she got a dude, she has the smarts to be like, I can't text nobody right now. I'm gonna go under the guise of posting a story for my friends on social media. And that's why, like I said, man, most of the time the women are posting shit on social media, it ain't for their female friends because they not the ones giving them the attention. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, that's what I said, you gotta have some snap to you, man, because women will be snakes too. They can also be bitch made cats.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, there is. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can go on and on. We probably have a dozen stories we can go, and I don't think we need to. I think everybody gets the idea or the point of it. But
No, yeah. So we understand what a bitch made cat is. Now, guy, how do you avoid these type of individuals in your life right now? Or what did you do previously that maybe you've maintained throughout the years?
oh man, like nowadays, it takes a while before I even call someone or consider them a friend. Like I have probably four friends now that I talk to with any regularity. There's, people I'm acquainted with, people I talk to, coworkers, former coworkers that I keep in touch with, keep tabs with. But there's not someone that I like have any vested interest in continuing to have a conversation. Like, oh, hey man, how's it going? What's going on with you and your girl? What's going on with your life? How's work going? Have you, put in for a promotion? Have you put in for a raise? You talk to your boss, like having an interest in your friend, that's different than just keeping in touch with people that you know. And I think of it more of like your Facebook friends or, those type of friends that you just kind of keep some tabs in and occasionally wish them a happy birthday if it pops up in your feed or whatever to remind them or to, oh, hey, it's this person's birthday versus knowing someone's birthday. I think that's the separator where you're reminded through social media that it's someone's birthday versus knowing, oh, hey, this is my friend's birthday or it's August, so and so and so and so's birthdays this month. So let me look at my calendar real quick so I know so I remember to message them and tell them happy birthday or send them a card or send them whatever. And to get to that point, I mean, it just takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be um, automatic. It's kind of like with dogs and other animals where you kind of do the butt sniffing. You kind of get a feel for each other. You figure out, okay, what the hierarchy, what the pecking order is between the friendship. You're not trying to be, or I don't try to be like a alpha male or be the best dude that these guys are always going to be friends with. I'm just like, hey, if I can be a mentor to someone, great. If I can learn from someone, even better. But the point is that you always have that goal of trying to do something better for yourself or do something better for your fellow man or your friends.
Yeah, see, so for like me, I kind of say this all the time, and sometimes people get upset, but you kind of have to categorize people. You know what I mean? And I know some people don't really like hearing that shit because they're like, "Oh no, I treat everybody the same," but you shouldn't though. You know what I mean? It's like I have coworkers, and they're coworkers. You know what I mean? Like that's the extent of that relationship. It's like I work with y'all. Like if I didn't work with y'all, I would never speak to y'all in my life, type shit. You know what I'm saying? I won't go on my way to speak to you. So that's what y'all are. Y'all are coworkers. Then you got like acquaintances. that, like you said, you're cool with the Facebook friends where it's like the occasional what's up. If you see them in public, you'll be like, oh, hey, man, how you doing? Da, da, da. You're always cordial. And then, like I said, you got friends. Because, like, to me, it's a big deal to call somebody a friend. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I don't have many. So if I call somebody my friend, it's like, this is a title that I believe that you earned and you deserve, and that I am also like I will give you a true friendship and treat you like a friend and how a friend should be treated, basically. And the thing about like identifying like snakes and bitch made cats and shit like that, you gotta understand. Snakes, they slither quietly in the tall grass. They hide very well. Cats, you almost never fucking hear them unless they want to be heard. That's the thing. Off rip, a lot of people are gonna show you their best face because they're like, hey man, I'm a good person. You should like me. You should want to hang out with me. You should want to be my friend. So they're gonna give you all these fake ass traits right in the front and be like, oh, I'm a good guy. You can trust me around your girl. You can trust me around your money. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be cool. And then a situation will arise where they think they have, I would say, a legitimate shot. Because normally they only got one shot. You know what I mean? Because, like, also, this comes down to you getting, like, a stand up bitch, like, you know, a stand up woman that will ride with you. That if one of your friends does hit on her, she turns him down and then lets you know immediately, like, hey, your friend tried to fuck with me. I told him to leave me alone. I don't appreciate it, but I wanted to let you know in case he tries to twist the story. And that way, you know, like, okay, now I know I got to move this motherfucker out of my life. And, you know, if it's like a business relationship, I would say keep him there for the business. But now, you know, don't ever invite him to your house again. Don't ever, you know, put him back in that category. He moves to a different box. So I just think that it's, again, just sort of like understanding your surroundings and not necessarily being so quick to just call everybody a friend. Because I know people like that where they're like, oh, I got tons of friends. And I'm like, well, if you got tons of friends, you ain't really got no friends because you don't really get close to anybody because you're just so open and cool and trusting with everybody. So everybody just kind of acts a certain way and uses you to a certain extent to where you're not feeling like genuine friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes sense.
Yeah. So something you kind of touched on, and seeing these guys that they'll wait to take their one shot, and like you said, snakes hiding in the grass or cats just kind of being invisible until they want to be seen. You got to pay attention to body language, and you got to learn micro expressions. Like this is part of where I push for people, or generally males, to be better versions of themselves, because not just the be an alpha male or be this badass that you work out and do all this other stuff. You also got to learn nuance. You also got to learn so many other social skills to be able to read and understand women, but not just that, being able to read and understand other human beings and figure out their intentions. Because a lot of people, these snakes, these cats, whatever, they tell you what they're going to do. They broadcast it without saying anything. If you pay attention to what they say, pay attention to how they talk about other people. If they're talking shit about other people, they're going to be talking shit about you behind your back, just like they talk shit about other people behind their back. And they think that you're going to be more friends with them because you're conspiring together about other people, talking shit about them. And so whenever I hear that at work, like, okay, this motherfucker, I'm never going to hang out with them. I'll go have drinks with them once a month or whatever after work, but I'm never going to invite them to my place. I'm never going to ask them to invite me to their house or get to know them or do all this other, you know, wild ass shit just because, that's what's expected to have a friendship. I just know to keep them at arm's length, joke around with them, you know, um, not to let them get too close. Let them think that they're close to me, but not let them get close to me. Like I'll joke around with them, laugh at their racist jokes. I'll laugh at their, dad jokes or whatever the fuck they got going. I'm like, okay, you're that type of person. All right. Them not realizing that I'm less than a quarter, but more than an eighth black. But we know when they drop the hard R, I'm like, okay, that's the type of person you are. Fine. Whatever. You stay over there, you stay in your lane. And I don't feel like I have to call them out. I'm not going to change them and make them not be racist or not be bigoted. That's going to be in their own nature. And if they want to grow and develop later on, fine. But that's why it's important to not just be a better you to be better with women, be a better you for yourself.
Yeah, see, because I'm not gonna try to change nobody, man. Like that's the Lord's job. That ain't Boogie's job. You know what I'm saying? That's up to Jesus. That ain't up to me. if they want to change, they'll change themselves. I'm not gonna be able to change nobody. But that's why, like, you got to watch who you surround yourself with, man. The best thing I ever heard is you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with most. So if you hang out with a bunch of snakes, you hang out with a bunch of broke boys, you hang out with a bunch of fuck boys that don't get no bitches. Guess what? You the sixth one in that group, son. That's why you should always be trying to elevate yourself and meet and hang out and correspond with like-minded individuals. If your goal is I want to be better with women, well then you should want to hang out with men that are already good with women, so that way you can see how they interact, and that way if you got a question, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, most people are fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ask them a question and it's not generally like a dumbass question, they'll be like, "Yeah, sure, man. Like I'll help you out. Don't worry about it." Like, damn, man, how did you get that girl? Because that's the other thing too. I noticed if a dude is doing bad, like sometimes before, right, when I would go out by myself and I be hitting on women and shit like that, dudes would see that I'm having these women smiling at me, looking at me, they're dancing with me, they want to, come hang out with me, they're buying me drinks. Dudes see that shit, and then they want to come up to me and be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Introduce themselves, because they're like, "Okay, this guy obviously knows how to get bitches, so I need to associate myself with this type of individual," which is what you should do when it comes to money. If you want to get into real estate, maybe you should talk to a couple realtors, maybe you should talk to a couple people that know shit about that. You know what I'm saying? Find like-minded individuals in your life that can help you grow. Because another dumb thing that I heard was, well, why do I always have to grow? And it's like, well, if you're not moving forward, standing still is moving backwards, because you're basically on one of those moving fucking sidewalks. You know what I'm saying? At the airport, everybody's on that. So if you're choosing to fucking stand still, you're moving backwards on this fucking escalator sidewalk thing, while everybody else is still walking forward. And so you're just being left behind, man. And there's nothing wrong with, because this is another thing I noticed, that dudes that do have friends that are like snakes and shit like that, they're like, "Oh, but it's my friend." And it's like, I don't give a fuck. You have to be okay with cutting people off. That's the problem. A lot of people get attached to certain motherfuckers that it's only bad for you, and then it ends up blowing up in your face. And it's like, why would you want to put yourself through that headache and through that possible heartache or that financial ruin or whatever fucking calamity this person is going to cause to your life? Why would you want that in your life? I would want to cut that out. You know what I'm saying? They told me, listen, when they cut out my testicles, they told me, they said, that motherfucker might have cancer. I said, get rid of it. I said, be gone, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. If you got a cancer growing next to you, why you want it? You know what I mean? I appreciate you laughing at that cancer joke.
Oh man, I'm stubborn with doctor shit. Like I only go whenever something's broken or bleeding. Like when I broke my collarbone, when I broke my hip. Like I only go when I have to go to the emergency room. If it's not an emergency room
Yeah.
thing, I don't have to go. I got cysts in my thighs. I got like fucking knots, and I was like, fuck it. If it were cancerous, I'd be dead by now because I've had them since I was a kid. So whatever.
I mean, listen, this was not a want to go situation. My fucking testicles were big as softballs, and I was like, this don't seem normal,
Yeah.
so maybe I should get this checked out. Because I was like, this has got to be the worst case of blue balls in history. I was like, that's got to be it. Because like, I got out of prison too, so I'm like, that's what it has to be. And then I went, and they're like, you have the worst hernia we've ever seen in a human male ever. Like literally, the doctors were shocked. They were like, I've never seen one this big. They're like, how long have you had this? I was like, so I was like 16 it started. They were like, Jesus. They're like, it's been 8 years, son. I'm like, so that's not a good thing.
Oh,
and then
man.
turns out they ended up finding a benign tumor or whatever, but they were like, now you could come back twice a year and get it checked out, or we could just take it out. I'm like, I'm not that attached to it anyway. You said it's been hidden by intestines. I ain't even known my nuts, I guess. Get rid of it.
Oh, man. Oh, that's funny.
Another boogie story.
Shit. Oh, fuck. Where were we?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Totally. That's on me. That's on me.
Oh, man. Shit, I forgot.
We got to talking about your cyst. We were talking about snakes hiding in plain sight.
Being a better you.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Oh my god. This is where I wish I had like a bookmark. You know what I mean? Just be like, where were we? This is where I wish I was more like, like formal and I had like a checklist so I could be like, oh, this is the last thing we were talking about. But since that's not the case, I don't fucking know. I just have to try to remember.
Oh fuck. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, how's your week been? What's been going on with you?
Oh, it's been good, man. I've been doing all right. I've still been doing this diet real tough. I'm finally down to 183. Let's fucking go. I've been in the gym for the past 2 weeks, doing good. I stopped smoking. I don't know if y'all noticed. I'm not fucking vaping anymore. I quit vaping and I quit smoking cigarettes. Cold turkey. Not gonna lie, there is crack in those vapes because man. So look, like quitting cigarettes cold turkey. I just wanted a snack, right? Like I just literally wanted a snack on shit. I'm like, God, I want something sweet or I want something salty or I want something to snack on. Quitting this vape, I would wake up in the morning and I'm like, where's my vape at? I'm like, bro, that is not healthy. When I quit cigarettes, I wake up and I'm like, where's the Yoo-hoo? Where's the whatchamacallit bar? You know what I'm saying? Where's the Reese's? With this vaping shit, I'm like, son, like no bullshit, maybe for like the first 4 days, like it's literally all I could think about. And I was in such a habit of doing it so often. Like for those of y'all that watch the podcast, I usually edit it out because that's how often I'm fucking puffing on that damn thing. Guile sees me, I'm hitting that motherfucker like a damn fiend. And that was honestly the hardest shit I've ever had to quit. I've quit sugar, I've quit cigarettes, I've quit cocaine. All that shit was way easier than quitting this fucking vape.
Ooh, fuck no. I'm a cheap bastard. Like I quit smoking cigarettes when they hit $2 a pack. That's how long ago I was. And it wasn't even that I was addicted to them. It was just the fact that
Yeah.
I was in the army. All we had to do was drink, fight, fuck, and might as well smoke cigarettes while I'm drinking because everybody else is. And so that was
Yeah.
the only reason I smoked because fuck it, I have a free hand, and these drinks are like $4 each. But if I got a cigarette in my hand, I can puff on this, or I can puff on a pack, and then just have two drinks, do the 2 drink minimum, and not have to spend so much money. So
Yeah.
I'm only in the hole, you know, $12 versus 50 or 100 buying all these drinks all night, and I don't have to get out there that drunk all night. So, um,
Yeah.
fuck,
That shit's
no,
terrible. How was your week though,
oh,
man?
it's been great. Fucking started doing yoga. I started doing yoga like 2 weeks ago. I fucked up
Hell
Sunday
yeah.
and Monday. Like Sunday, I just I'll do it tomorrow, and then Monday I was like I'll do it tomorrow, and I knew if I kept doing it, then I wouldn't do it. So I just jumped on it yesterday and just kept doing yoga. So it's been good. Getting more limber. I can touch my toes without like having any pops in my back anymore. Getting more being able to do planks now. I mean, not forever, but I can do planks better than I could a week ago. So yeah, and then just feeling just
Yeah.
better and more energized throughout my day. Because if you do exercise in the morning, it's gonna release endorphins, all the other good shit that you feel good throughout the day. So yeah, it's fucking fine.
Yeah, you just feel better, man. Like drinking that shake that I talked about a couple episodes ago, the one I was telling you about, like with all those greens and shit like that. Man, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, so I have really bad allergies, right, to like pollen and like tree dander and shit like that. Since I started drinking this shit, maybe after like a week, I haven't had any allergies, man. And like one day, I literally woke up and there's like a coat of fucking. Yeah, I mean, you used to live in Houston. There's a coat of pollen all over my truck. And I wasn't even thinking about it. I just was driving all day, windows open and shit like that. And then my dad called me, and he's like, "Oh man, like how are your allergies?" And I was like, "Fuck, I haven't sneezed not once today." I was like, "This is weird." I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on." Because my dad's the one that's doing the same diet, and he's like, "Man, he's like, I don't know what it is about these green drinks, but he's like, they just like fixed my allergy, and they were like clearing my skin up." And I was like, "That makes sense." I mean, it's not clearing my skin up as much, but because I work in like a dirty environment, so it's easy. And then I have a very bad habit of touching my face, which I try not to do. And now I got in the habit of touching the back of my head. And my barber was like, "You have these bumps just popping out on the back of your head." I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta stop." But I have that habit when I'm driving. So I be driving, steering wheel's disgusting, the shifter's disgusting, and I'm driving and shit, and then I'm just like this, I'm just like chilling, or like I keep fiddling with my fucking hat or whatever. So I'm just getting bumps everywhere. I gotta stop. I have a problem.
No, I had to knock wood a second ago because I never get sick. I've gotten sick 2 times in my life. I had pneumonia when I was in basic training, which was 20 years ago, 20 more than 20 years ago, and COVID. And I only had symptoms for about 12 hours. Like I had a little cough, I had a little congestion. I was like, man, coughed it out, took a nap. I was fine. Like I was good the next, within the same day. but I had like flu-like symptoms, and my ribs kind of hurt for a little while. And after that, I was fine. I'm guessing it was COVID because it was like right during when Corona started coming out and all this other shit, and everybody around me was getting sick. The whole house had Corona 2 or 3 different times, and I finally caught it like one of those pass-throughs. So, um, yeah, I'm lucky. No allergies. Don't get sick. Don't get anything. So yeah, I had to knock on wood for that because I feel bad for people
Yeah.
who have headaches or migraines or allergies or all that other crap. I'm like, man, sucks to be you.
Sucks to be you. Sucks to suck, buddy. Oh, I gotta ask you a question because I was talking about this earlier with my sister, right? Like literally today. So, because I was telling her like when I get sick, I like to be babied. You know what I mean? Like I like for my partner to baby me. Like I like to just be like, oh, my head hurts, like my chest hurts. I want some soup, and I want her to just like baby the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? And my sister's completely different. And I noticed this. I think this is just. I'm not gonna say all women because I've definitely met some women that like to be babied. But most women that I've dealt with, at least in my personal experience, they're like tough as fucking nails. They're like sick as fuck, still going to the gym, still doing everything regular. I'm bitching and moaning, and they're like fucking pussy. Like they're doing their own fucking thing. How are you when you get sick? Are you a baby?
Like I said, I've only been sick twice in 40 years. I've only been or 40 plus years. I've only been sick twice. Pneumonia. I was in the hospital, and so I didn't have anybody there to baby me because I was in basic training. And then with COVID,
Mhm.
I just took a nap. Like I was like, I don't feel good. Fuck it. I'm just taking a little nap, and I woke up fine. I do like to be babied though, or pampered, whenever I'm in a relationship or who I'm dating with, and just to be taken care of. But it's more of like that Stepford wife type shit. So that's like kind of like that's my expectation all the time to be taken care of in that way. Of course, I take care of my girl or my wife, like the how our relationship was, and so it was more of looking out for each other, being like a cheerleader. Like that's the kind of shit that I like her cheerleading me and her making me feel like more of a man than I am, or more like I'm her Superman. Like that to me is the best. It being sick or just
See,
being in
to
a
me, that's
relationship.
like perfect. Yeah, that's perfect to me, man. Because like I like, so I don't really like asking for it, but like I like receiving compliments and shit like that. Especially like when I feel like I'm on my best shit. Because like I pulled this shirt out because I haven't been able to fit in this shirt in like 3 years. This is a fucking medium, and I feel fucking great. I haven't worn this shirt since I got out of prison. This is a schmedium, and I finally fit back in it, and I'm like, thank God. You know what I'm saying? Because all I had was like big boy clothes, so I had to have everything baggy for my fat ass stomach. So now I can fit back in the schmedium for the first time in like 3 years. Literally, the last time I wore this shirt was 2018. I was out of prison for like 6 months, and I still had like that prison body because I hadn't gotten fat yet. So I was able to fit inside of a schmedium. But like I love to be babied. Like when I'm losing weight, when I feel like I'm doing everything good, after I just got a haircut, after I just laid some good dick shit. Like you know what I'm saying? I just want any opportunity that a compliment is available. Give me that motherfucker. Tee me up because I'm gonna knock it out the park. God damn it.
Yeah, we don't get compliments a lot as males in general. I don't think we get complimented. And then when I do get
No.
compliments, I'm like, oh, thanks. Or actually, no, I'm a lie. I lie. Normally, like I know because I'm cocky as shit. Yeah, I know. I'm fucking awesome. So
Same.
you know,
See,
but when I get it out of the blue, I'm
that's
like,
the
oh
problem
shit.
though.
Like, okay, thank you. Right? That's what I'm supposed to say. Thank you.
But
So
see, ain't that the problem though? Because see, I'm also a cocky motherfucker. So then when like I get comments, I'm also do the same shit. I'm like, of course, the fuck, like I know. Have you seen me? Like shit like that. So I think that makes them think that we don't want the fucking compliment. I want it. I want it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Don't.
don't even think for
My
me,
cockiness is a
it's not that I
sham.
don't
No, I'm
want it.
kidding.
They tell it's more of like, oh well, why bother? You're just gonna say I know. Like, yeah, but I still want to hear it.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like the fuck. Like, listen, when I eat, I know I'm gonna shit it out. That don't mean I don't want to keep eating. You know what I mean? Like the fuck. That shit just always blows my mind, son. I'm like, listen, like I get it. It's definitely more like I guess integral for like women to like receive compliments and stuff like that because I know that they tend to have more like body image issues and shit like that. But compliment your man. God damn, compliment your man. Even if he says I know and he's a cocky motherfucker, make him into a cocky motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel like I got like a third dick. You know what I'm saying? Like
A
I'm talking about
third?
just
Where's
I
your
walk
second at?
around. Well, listen, my confidence has a cock
Gotcha.
of its own, and since that goes with me everywhere, that's my second. Yeah, you know, funny enough, real quick sidebar. I just had that conversation with my brother yesterday because I bought a brand new hat because it's rodeo season.
Oh shit.
So I literally I bought a brand new Stetson, and I put the hat on, and I was talking to my brother, and I was like, "This hat makes me feel like I got a third dick," and he's like, "It be like that sometimes." I said, "I'm glad you said that because most people are like, wait, a third dick?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because my confidence." And I was like, "You know, it always happens." So I'm glad that you let me do that. So thank you. That shit I do just all the time
man.
on the regular.
Fuck.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for Bitch Made Cats. Make sure to keep sending us more questions, and we will be sure to answer it, whether live here on the podcast or whether you want a personal response. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me on my Instagram at cementblock_productions. I will read your messages. And make sure to check out Block Talk. It's a weekly podcast. I also do another podcast called Off the Hinges Podcast. If you want to check that out, I do that with my with a buddy from Pittsburgh, Marcus. We have a pretty great time just talking more about like current events and stuff like that. Guy, let them know where they can find you at.
Easy way to find me is sucias.xyz. You'll find my socials. You can get my texts, or you can email me and complain about whatever I've said, or give me ideas, or ask me questions. I have no problem answering them. You might be able to change my mind, but if not, hopefully I can help you change yours and help you get laid or help you get a girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah, we don't discriminate over here, man. Like I said, we help men, we help women, we help non-binaries, pansexual, transsexual, asexual, desexual, bisexual, all the sexuals, all of them. You know, there's so many I lost track, but there's a lot of them. And thank y'all so much for tuning in to Block Talk, man. We're out.
I see you, Block.